Why do humans fall in love, like really fall in love, the kind that sneaks up on you when you weren't looking for it, the kind that makes a random person's text change your mood for the entire day, the kind that turns normal songs into emotional soundtracks and ordinary moments into memories you replay in your head at 2 a.m. One day you're completely fine, focused on your own life, and the next day your brain is doing something strange, suddenly prioritizing someone else's happiness, safety, and presence almost as much as your own. And that's because humans are not designed to live emotionally alone, no matter how independent we pretend to be. From the very beginning of life, the human brain is wired to seek connection, safety, and familiarity. And while as children we rely on caregivers for survival, as adults, that same need doesn't disappear, it just disguises itself as attraction, attachment, and love. So when you meet someone who feels familiar, comforting, or emotionally right, your brain quietly labels them as important long before logic gets a vote. Falling in love isn't something you choose with a checklist. It's something your nervous system recognizes, often before you understand why, and that's why love can make intelligent, rational people act completely out of character, replying too fast when they said they wouldn't, rereading messages like they're decoding a secret language, and imagining an entire future after one deep conversation, because once chemistry kicks in, your brain turns into a full-time pharmacy, releasing dopamine that creates excitement and motivation, serotonin that hijacks your thoughts, and oxytocin that builds emotional bonding, which together create that can't stop thinking about them, feeling that people romanticize but is actually closer to mild obsession. This is also why love feels so powerful and sometimes overwhelming, because your brain isn't just enjoying a person. It's rewarding you for connection, and here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain doesn't actually care whether the person is good for you in the long run. It only cares about how they make you feel in the moment, which explains why people so often fall in love with emotionally unavailable partners, confusing intensity with intimacy and familiarity with safety, especially if their past taught them that love comes with uncertainty, inconsistency, or emotional distance. In those cases, love isn't about peace, it's about recognition, about the brain chasing what it already knows, even if what it knows includes pain. Humans also fall in love because love gives life meaning in a way very few things do. Because before love, days blend together, routines feel empty, and achievements feel oddly quiet. But after love, suddenly small moments matter, silence feels full instead of awkward, effort feels worthwhile, and even suffering feels like it has purpose, like it's part of a bigger story rather than random discomfort. And that's why people will endure stress, distance, and uncertainty for love when they wouldn't tolerate those things for anything else. There's also something deeply human about how love lowers our defenses and, let's be honest, our standards. Traits we once said were deal breakers become not that bad, red flags become they're just misunderstood, and boundaries suddenly feel flexible, not because people become foolish, but because love shifts priorities, making emotional connection feel more valuable than being right, comfortable, or in control. At its core, though, humans fall in love because we want to be seen, not admired, not impressed, not validated on social media, but truly seen in our unfiltered state, with our fears, insecurities, overthinking, and contradictions. And when someone listens without trying to fix us, understands without judging us, and stays present without demanding we perform, the brain marks that experience as rare and precious, creating attachment not to perfection but to emotional safety. This is why love feels like relief as much as joy, relief from loneliness, from pretending, from carrying everything silently inside your own head, and why losing love hurts so deeply, because it's not just the absence of a person, it's the sudden loss of that emotional shelter your brain had learned to rely on. Love can confuse you, distract you, break your heart, and challenge your sense of self, but it can also heal wounds logic never touched, soften defenses you didn't realize you built, and remind you that connection is not a weakness but a survival feature, something humans evolved with, not something society invented. And that's why no matter how many times love disappoints us, we still fall into it again and again. Because at the end of the day, humans aren't driven by logic alone. We're driven by belonging, by the need to feel understood, valued, and emotionally safe. And falling in love is simply the brain's most powerful way of saying, you don't have to do life by yourself anymore, which might just be the most human instinct of all. And even beyond instinct, love also acts like a mirror, quietly reflecting parts of ourselves we didn't know how to see alone. Because when you fall in love, you don't just connect with another person, you also come face to face with your own emotions, patterns, and unmet needs, noticing how certain words calm you, certain silences trigger you, and certain behaviors make you feel secure or exposed, which slowly teaches you more about yourself than years of self-analysis ever could. Love reveals where you're confident and where you're still healing, where you trust easily and where you hold back, and that's why it can feel both beautiful and uncomfortable at the same time. Humans also fall in love because shared emotion creates meaning faster than logic ever can. So laughing at the same stupid joke, surviving a difficult moment together, or simply feeling understood in silence builds a sense of us that feels stronger than individual identity. And once that shared emotional world exists, the brain protects it fiercely, sometimes irrationally, because connection feels more valuable than certainty. Love also gives humans hope, not the loud, unrealistic kind, but the quiet belief that life can feel warmer, softer, and more manageable with the right person beside you. And that hope alone can change how people move through the world, making them kinder, braver, and more open than they would be otherwise. This is why people in love often take risks they never would have taken alone. Not because love makes them reckless, but because it makes fear feel smaller when it's shared. At the same time, love exposes vulnerability in a way nothing else does. Because when someone matters to you, their absence, silence, or disappointment suddenly has the power to affect your emotional balance, which is why love can feel like strength and weakness at once, grounding you while also making you emotionally visible. Yet despite that risk, humans keep choosing love again and again because a life without emotional connection may be safe, but it rarely feels alive, and deep down, most people would rather risk feeling deeply than never feel truly connected at all. And as love grows, it slowly changes how the brain experiences time and memory, making moments feel more intense and memories more vivid, which is why people can remember tiny details about someone they love but forget what they ate yesterday, because emotion tells the brain what is worth saving. Love sharpens attention, pulls focus toward another human being, and quietly reorganizes priorities, turning ordinary routines into shared rituals and small gestures into symbols that carry emotional weight. Humans also fall in love because love softens isolation, reminding us that our thoughts, fears, and hopes don't have to live only inside our own minds. And when someone genuinely listens, even without solutions, the nervous system relaxes in a way that feels rare in a world that constantly demands performance and productivity. Love creates emotional safety, and emotional safety allows people to be more honest, more playful, and more real, which is why many people say they feel more themselves when they are with someone they love, as if the pressure to prove worth quietly disappears. At the same time, love challenges ego, because caring deeply about someone means accepting that you can't control how they feel or what they choose, and this loss of control can be uncomfortable, especially for a mind that craves certainty. Yet it is also what makes love transformative, forcing growth, patience, and emotional maturity. Humans don't fall in love because it's easy or predictable. They fall in love because it stretches them beyond emotional survival into emotional depth, showing them that connection isn't just about comfort, but about learning how to stay open even when there's risk involved, and that willingness to stay open despite uncertainty is what keeps love alive and human rather than mechanical. And over time, love begins to influence not just emotions but identity, subtly reshaping how people see themselves and their place in the world. Because when someone cares deeply about you, their presence validates parts of you that may have felt invisible before, making you more aware of your own value while also exposing areas where you still doubt yourself. Love encourages reflection, not in a dramatic or forced way, but through everyday moments where you notice how being with someone changes your reactions, your patience, and even your priorities, teaching you emotional regulation not through rules but through experience. Humans also fall in love because love creates continuity in a fast, fragmented world, offering a sense of we that remains steady while everything else changes. And that stability can feel grounding in a way achievements or status never fully replace. Love invites growth by gently confronting people with compromise, empathy, and responsibility, showing that caring for another person means learning when to speak, when to listen, and when to put ego aside, which can be uncomfortable but also deeply fulfilling. At the same time, love preserves playfulness, bringing out curiosity, humor, and emotional openness that adulthood often suppresses, reminding people that connection doesn't have to be heavy to be meaningful. Humans keep falling in love not because it guarantees happiness, but because it makes life feel layered, textured, and emotionally real, turning existence from something that is merely endured into something that is experienced. And in a world where many things are temporary and uncertain, Love remains one of the few experiences that consistently reminds people that being human is about connection, not perfection.